Hi there everyone, as you can see from the title, I am starting a bullet journal. And I'm just as surprised as you are about this. I never really thought that it would be for me, but I've really found a way to make it work and I'm going to show you how I do it. So if you're curious, the notebook that I'm using is from Muji. It's called their A5 PP cover notebook and mine is the one with the dotted pages. So I started out with something just a little bit interesting. It's just a very basic introduction page. It just says my name and it has some contact information in there. So as you can see, I'm just sketching out first where I want things to go with a pencil, and I'm also doing some writing. This isn't any special calligraphy or anything like that. I am just doing my own handwriting in this journal, but maybe a more exaggerated kind of scribblier sort of version of my own handwriting, but I'm not doing anything fancy really. You'll see that's a really big theme in this. I'm just keeping things very minimal. I don't want this to feel like it has to be perfect. I want it to be something that's quite fun, so I'm just using my own handwriting. And if you want to know about the brush pens that I'm using to get the colours, I just have 3 pens from Tombow, and of course I'll be leaving the names of the colours and just links to where you can have a look at them in the description box for this video. And then I'm using some very basic black fine liners. I usually just get the cheapest ones that I can find because I wear them out so quickly. And then after that I'm just leaving some space for an index page. Obviously that's going to fill up as I go along, so it's pretty empty right now because there's not much in there so far. And then I wanted the first proper page to be a yearly spread, just for my own reference. I thought it would come in handy for when I'm making my other monthly and weekly spreads later on. And I also thought it would just be a good thing to have for myself as well. And then I could just circle any future dates that were particularly important, you know, like any birthdays, any holidays, stuff like that. So I just thought that that would be a really handy thing to have, and it actually wasn't as complicated to draw this out as I imagined it would be. I have a calendar on my computer, so I just got all the weekdays and things like that from there, and I was just able to copy it in, and I was quite lucky and I didn't make too many mistakes. You might see me going over some bits with the Tipp-Ex pen every now and again, but it was mostly okay, and you can't tell that there's any mistakes when you look at it now, so that's the important thing. And then I'm going to be doing the May monthly spread after that. Obviously I started this journal about halfway through the month, but I still really wanted that monthly spread there. I really like monthly spreads because if a client asks me if I'm available to work on a certain day for them, I'm a freelance photographer if you didn't know already, so if a client wants me to shoot on a particular day, I can easily just look at the month ahead of me and go, yes I am free on this day, or no, can we do this other time? And again you can see that this monthly spread does actually look fairly minimal. It's very easy to recreate. Again, it wasn't as complicated to draw as I thought it would be. I'm not even using rulers. That's another thing that I forgot to mention earlier. I'm not using any rulers in my bullet journal. I just like the look of hand-drawn lines. Obviously my journal is quite messy, not messy, but just very imperfect, and I just think that that goes with my own personal aesthetic a little bit more. So I'm definitely putting my own spin on the bullet journal. Even though the spreads that I'm doing are very similar to what everyone else does, I'm definitely putting my own style on it, and I think that's the beautiful thing about bullet journaling. So after that, there's the first weekly spread. So I was drawing this out on a Sunday afternoon, and I've made the weekly spread start on the Monday the next day, just so I would be able to use it straight away. So I'm just drawing some lines on the page. I'm just doing 8 blocks, and then I'm giving each day its own block, and then there's 1 space left for some notes as well, which I think will really come in handy. And then I just started making some notes of a few things that I wanted to get done on each day, just making notes of blog posts and videos that are going up on each day as well, just so I know to work backwards to get everything prepared for when they're up on those days. And this week is mostly focused on catching up on my blog and my YouTube channel as well, so that's what I was thinking about, and that's what led to the next page. So I made a list of just some videos that I need to film, both for this channel and for my beauty and personal style channel as well. And I was just making a few notes, mostly for my own reference really, of just things that need filming, because I'm actually going on a weekend away at the beginning of June. So I'm just trying to be very careful to bulk film some extra content for when I go away. Also, with being freelance as well, it's actually better to bulk film in advance because you never really know what the next week is going to be like. So I was just making notes of what I wanted to film and what content I wanted to make. And then straight after that, I thought it would be a good idea to do a few other weekly spreads as well, just so I was able to kind of plan a few weeks out in advance before I go away. So they're done in the same style as the first weekly spread, it's just a different colour, obviously. I think I'm probably going to stick with this idea for a weekly spread. It's very simple to draw and it's effective, and it gives me quite a bit of space to just write down everything that I want to get done. But that being said, the great thing about having a bullet journal is that I could just change it if I wanted to. I could easily draw a different weekly spread next time if I want to. And as you can see, as I'm filling up the pages, I do start to go back and just make notes on the index as I go along, just so that I know where everything is for future reference. And then after that, I wanted to do something a little bit fun, so I actually stuck in a few mementos from some blogging events that I've been to over the last month or so. I might have to blur out the name of the station on the train tickets. I'm very sorry. As much as I love all 2,300 of you, I really don't want you to show up at my house. I don't think I have enough tea bags, so I am going to have to blur out the name of the station, I'm afraid. And then after that, we start to get a little bit Pinterest. I just wanted to have the odd motivational page in there, so I put the quote, "Good things take time." I don't know exactly who said that, but that is a quote that I quite like. I just found it on the internet and copied it in there. And then after that, I just put some space to scribble down some blog post ideas. I'm usually quite good at keeping on top of YouTube ideas. I do that all electronically, and I usually have a huge backlog of things that I want to film, but blog post ideas don't come quite as naturally to me, so I thought it might benefit me just to have somewhere where I could just scribble down and make some notes. So I've got 3 little categories. There's photography, diary, and lifestyle. Those are the categories that I have on my blog, if you were wondering. And then after that, I thought I'd do the monthly spread for June as well, just because again I am going on a weekend away, so I thought it would be good to just have a little note of that. And again, in case there are queries about my availability to work in the month of June as well, I just need to have that monthly spread ready to go. So there were just a few things off the top of my head that I wanted to make a note of. There's probably going to be a bit more of that in June, but I just wanted to make a little note of all the really important stuff like my weekend away. And there you have it, that is the start of my bullet journal. So that kind of gives you an idea of my style and the kind of thing that I'm doing in there. It's going to be kind of part diary and part notebook. Even though it obviously takes more time than a regular diary and it is a bit more fiddly, I really like having that flexibility and just being able to go from having a monthly spread to a weekly spread. And I can also use it as a scrapbook and put photographs and tickets in there. I can put ideas for videos in there. Let me know if you have a bullet journal in the comment section below. Let me know how you're getting on with it. I also want to give a huge shout out to Rachel from the channel Full Flourish, because I got the idea for bullet journaling from her. Before I saw her videos, I thought that bullet journaling was really fiddly and would just take hours and hours and hours. But after I saw her really minimalist approach and her really simple way that she does things, I knew that I could actually make it work for me. So I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for her, and I just wanted to give her a shout out because most of the spreads I do are very similar to hers. So a lot of my ideas for bullet journaling actually come from either Rachel or from Pinterest or from other bullet journal videos on YouTube. So I can't take any credit. There is no originality in this video at all. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up and let me know if you'd like to see any more bullet journal videos, because I can happily do little flip throughs after I've finished a few more pages in here. And I will see you next Friday at 6 p.m. Bye!